I'm bored. I think I'm gonna watch the YouTube.
Okay, so do any of you remember this scene from Diamond is Unbreakable? If not, let me refresh your memory. And I know it's hard to believe, but there are actually people out there who don't eat, sleep, and breathe JoJo like some of us. JoJo is a long series, like over 2 decades of serialization long, and it can be pretty easy to forget things, especially when they happen early in parts. So for you anime-only watchers, this was roughly about 8 months ago, and if you don't remember, I don't blame you, because it was a very short flashback scene that seemed to be foreshadowing at the time, but ended up being never mentioned or explained, almost as if it was completely forgotten, or at least wanted to be forgotten. So this scene was in chapter 324 in episode 15 of the Diamond is Unbreakable anime. What I would consider still early on in the part while our main cast was still forming. The scene I keep mentioning was a flashback of Josuke's past told by Koichi, where he explains the reason for why Josuke goes into a literal blind rage anytime someone makes fun of his hairstyle. Koichi explains that when Josuke was only 4 years old, he came down with an extremely high fever where Josuke was on the brink of death for 50 days. This was the same fever that Jotaro's mother, Holly, was suffering from at the same time because of Dio cursing the bloodline with the double-edged sword of stand powers, by awakening his own stand while using Jonathan's body. So during Josuke's battle against his own stand manifesting while the Stardust Crusaders were on their way to defeat Dio, Josuke's mom, Tomoko, took Josuke to the hospital in fear of losing her child to this unknown sickness. But it just
Okay. Oof.
And on their way to the hospital, their car got stuck in the snow, and since the town of Morio was still under development at the time, they were about a mile away from the nearest house. So Tomoko, panicked on what to do in the situation,
Boring.
suddenly notices a boy in her rearview mirror wearing a school uniform bearing a shocking resemblance to teenage Josuke, and she notices that he has cuts and bruises all over him, and before she can even ask him about her suspicions, the boy acknowledges Josuke's illness and offers to help by pushing the car. He immediately removes his jacket and lays it in front of the rear wheels and commands Tomoko to start driving and don't stop or else she will get stuck in the snow again. So Tomoko and Josuke drive off, never to see the boy again, even going out of their way deliberately after this event, looking for him in order to thank him, but they never do find out who he was. But since that day, Josuke has idolized the boy that saved his life and wears his hair in the same fashion because of how important he is to him. And for the rest of Diamond is Unbreakable, the identity of the mysterious boy was left unknown. So now for the question, who was he? Well, based on how part 4's story played out and how little information we got about him, it's simple to say that he was just a boy who happened to be at the right place at the right time. But what if it was actually Josuke that saved Josuke? I mean,
What?
they have a striking similarity in appearance from their body type down to their earrings, but I mean, Josuke intentionally tries to look exactly like him, so their similarities in appearance isn't that compelling. But as we know, Hirohiko Araki is notorious for writing the story as he goes, especially in earlier parts, and it's not uncommon to see plot points left unexplained and even entire characters be written out of the story when Araki decides to change directions. So the prevailing theory is that when Diamond is Unbreakable was in its early stages and this scene was written, Araki planned for Josuke, I assume here in the end of part 4, to go back in time and save his younger self. And I also assume that this method of going back in time was a rough draft of Kira's Bites the Dust ability. So for whatever reason, Araki decided to change directions in the story, and hopefully for the better, because time travel can be extremely hard to write if you want it to make sense with little plot holes. So Araki probably realized that time travel was confusing and said, fuck that shit, so we are left an unexplained plot point that leaves readers in retrospect thinking, well, wait, what about when Josuke saved himself? Because the first time seeing this flashback, I really thought that it would play into the story later. But as we know, it never did. It's actually extremely obvious that the character in this flashback is or was going to be Josuke when we look at the little details, like the blood on his face and wounds that are exactly identical to Josuke's wounds in his final standoff with Kira, which makes me wonder at what point did Araki actually change his mind. And maybe it wasn't even until one of the final uses of Bites the Dust that he decided to ditch the time travel ending. Or maybe Araki changed his mind at some point before the final battle and made Josuke's wounds reflect his heroes because it was Josuke's time to be a hero and make more of a connection between the two characters. But continuing on the theory that this was in fact supposed to be Josuke, there are even more details from the scene that clearly show it was him. Like, why was he on a rural road away from any town in the middle of a blizzard at the exact right place at the right time Tomoko got stuck? And how did he know that there was a child sick inside the car? When we see how small Josuke was in the passenger seat, there's no way someone standing behind the car would be able to see inside that seat. Although this was slightly changed in the anime adaptation, making the seat go uniform as teenage Josuke. And Tomoko said that Morio was still under development, so possibly the town school wasn't even built or open yet, but yet this person still had a uniform that Josuke would wear a decade later. I think the most convincing detail is the fact that he looked like he'd just been in a fight, and his wounds were similar to the ones that Josuke had in his fight with Kira. It kind of sucks that we see such an interesting concept of Josuke going back in time or experiencing a time loop and saving his younger self be completely scrapped, as we are still left with a scene foreshadowing this event that would never happen. So to answer the question, who is this character? It's as simple as, when the scene was first written, yes, this character was Josuke Higashikata, but because Araki changed his mind in the direction of Diamond is Unbreakable, the boy who was supposed to be Josuke from the future changed into nothing more than just a hero. And that's a video, guys. Let me know if you want to see more of these theory-style videos, and if you do, what theories pertaining to JoJo do you want me to talk about or try to explain? So thank you all for watching this video. Leave a like on it if I fought your boredom, or if you just enjoyed it, and of course subscribe for more videos. Once again, thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed.
No.